Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Greenville Gab. And we are in for a lot of really cool information tonight on the show. So, thanks for tuning in. And hopefully, this gives you good information and I can answer questions. But there's been a lot going on here in our market in Greenville. There's a lot of coming soons. There's a lot of change. There's lots of conversation around what realtors, lenders, maybe even just the common people think might be happening here in the area or even in our industry just here in the next, I don't know, year. So we are headed into an election year, and we're just I'm hearing things across the board. I'm also experiencing something in the housing market that I think is the very beginning of what is coming soon. So, if you are just joining us here, do me a favor, leave me a comment. Would love to know where you're watching from and just what questions you have or how your day went. I think that's all great things. I like to know, get to know you and what's important to you, so on and so forth. So tonight we are just going to go through some really easy things like things to do, places to visit, because we're right here at the holidays. And I want to make sure that uh, if you're coming to visit family or if you are making time to uh, come and uh, like visit, where do you go? What's the weather like? Where do you go hike? Where do you go walk? Anything like that. So with that, going to jump straight into it and um going over here to we're going to talk about Falls Park. So basically, if you have Googled Greenville, South Carolina, and you looked at the images, or you go to the main Greenville, South Carolina websites or anything like that, basically, this picture or something like it is going to be what pulls up. This is probably one of the most popular pictures that I see that pulls up about Greenville. And it's basically what draws people here as a destination to begin with, I think, is is the downtown. So some fun history things about Falls Park and just items that I think everybody should know. It's just, hey, it didn't always look like this. It wasn't always a place where you could go and walk or ride your bikes or just enjoy standing and having a conversation. Or if you actually go down in here, there are benches and swings. Bench swings that you can sit and just enjoy listening to the waterfalls. So, Reedy River basically runs from, I would say, all the way out in like the TR area, uh, down through downtown, and then follows through there. So, this actually used to have a bridge that started right here from this picture and it spanned over the falls. You couldn't even see the falls. And so I think it was what, 20 years ago or so, they took the bridge out and opened all of this up. They've been doing a ton of work down there. They moved around a ton of boulders in the river not too long ago. So there's some fun things to do there at the park. If you are here in the summertime, there's a local Rotary Club that does something called the Duck Derby. I'm sure I'll cover that at some point in time. Uh, but you buy a duck and you send it down the falls. It's not just a few ducks either. It's thousands of rubber duckies that they send down the Falls Park. So definitely when you are coming to the area, like this is what draws people here, I think, to begin with. Whenever you start researching, whenever you're looking at, hey, we're gonna, look at Falls Park, there's a ton of history around Greenville, and a lot of it is downtown. So I just encourage you, like, take the time, go walk it. It is something a little touristy for Greenville, and it's something that I thoroughly enjoy and you don't want to miss at all. So not too many changes, but it is something that I think is pretty neat. So with that, um, wanted to go just into like what's going on? What have I been seeing and experiencing here in Greenville just here in the last like week or two? So, as you guys know, I run a real estate team here in the area. Reason for the channel is that you guys come to me and you have these questions. So, obviously, I need to do something to bring you answers. So here's my big update for you, and I'm really excited to be able to talk about this as we are progressing through the end of the year and into the beginning of 2024. Wow, does anybody else feel like 2023 just completely blew past? I don't know what happened to the last year. I feel like just yesterday it was January and February, and we were in 2023, and now we're finally headed into an election year. So, election years in real estate are weird. I've been through one, just full honesty there, that things got a little weird. And so what do I mean by a little bit weird? So people, this is what I hear a lot. Well, we're going to wait to see what happens after the election. Or we're going to wait to see what happens during the election year. Maybe interest rates will go down. Or what happens to inflation, so on and I I hear all of you, but when it comes to, like, actually going and doing the things, what is the result? Like, what's happening on the other side of this here? So, if you're looking to a lot of you that watch are looking to buy a house, and I have something later on in the show tonight that I think is really cool. We're going to talk about a development that I love in the area that there's a lot of new building coming. So you guys are going to know about it here first. But why is it that I put listings on the market back in like May, June-ish, okay? And they sat for weeks and months, and it took so much effort to find the buyer for these properties. And like priced right, we were lowering the price. We were doing open houses, mailers, social media marketing, ads. Like if you could see those ads on the side of the different web pages, like we were doing it, not getting anybody into some of these houses. It's pulling my hair out. So, and I tell my clients, like, I'm a millennial. I love instant gratification. I want those houses under contract in a weekend. What's happening? So here's what I think is interesting. And I've been bringing this up to, I'm part of a mastermind group of realtors. In the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, in the last 3 weeks, all of those listings that have been sitting since June either are under contract, went under contract with multiple offers, or they are starting to get daily showing traffic. Why is that? Like, why is it that all of a sudden people are coming out of the woodworks to see a house that's been on the market for over 100 days? Yes, like you heard that right. In Greenville, houses on the market that long. It's not just me and my listings. If it was, there'd be a problem. But uh like we're seeing showing traffic increase across the board. We're seeing buyers coming out of the woodwork to see houses. So I was talking to a realtor today that actually said, she's doing more showings now than she has since like April. Um, and I'm like, okay. Uh, and I had a house that I not joking, 3 weeks ago, had been on the market since June, and all of a sudden I had 3 people who made an offer on it. This house had been on the market since June. It made no sense, and we went under contract basically at our list price. So here's what I think is happening. So, one, we have again, so we're in the holidays, which means less people list their houses for sale. So we have a lower inventory. Then we did actually see a half a point, in some cases a full point an interest rate drop this week. And I'm just quoting what my lender told me. So if you want to know the exact specifics and what's happening there, I would recommend that you either go watch one of the past live streams that we did with Brian McIntosh with Homeowners Financial, or I can send you Brent Honchel's information or Kendall Fox's information to talk about loans. So we have lower inventory, then we have a decrease in interest rates. Here's what I hear the people, the economists saying about interest rates right now. They have the potential to hit 10%. However, they also have the potential to go down as we head into the first quarter, and they will be down in the second quarter of 2024. Now, I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did, because then it would help you guys out a whole lot more that are financing. But it affects the pricing, and it affects how fast a house will sell here in the area. I'm working a ton of new construction right now. Um, and they span the board. It's some are big box neighborhoods like Lennar, SK, Ryan, um what's the other ones? There's a whole bunch of them. Crescent Homes is another one here in the area, Adams Homes. Um, those builders right now, everything has slowed down, and they are offering incentives. They are offering, hey, let's go, come buy this house by the end of the year and get such and such interest rate, or get these incentives, or get this appliance package, which I think is great. But it's something that we're also seeing, like I said, these houses that have been sitting forever, all of a sudden getting all these showings. It may be time to actually change the strategy up a little bit, because this is what happens. And I feel like a broken record at this point, because I'm telling you guys this at the beginning of the show. I'll tell you this at the beginning, at the end of the show again, that when interest rates go down and the inventory has not caught up, prices will go up. It will continue to be harder to buy a house. It will be a blast to sell it, because you'll make a ton of money and you'll get a bunch of offers, and that's great. But the market that you sell in is also the market that you buy in. So yeah, I feel like I'm seeing the beginnings of another market uptick. More showings. I do have a fair amount of people that are willing, ready, and able. They're going to be listing their homes as soon as we hit January 2024. And guys, it's getting ready to happen again. So I wouldn't wait. And you're making your change over here to Greenville. So let's talk a little bit more about like things to do and what you should be looking for. So let's look here. Have you guys heard of the Peace Center? So this is something that I don't think gets near enough um recognition here for Greenville, is that the Peace Center holds some of the best Broadway shows or shows that come off Broadway um, here in the local area. A couple weeks ago, I spoke about Andre Bocelli's coming in February. He will be here over Valentine's Day, I believe. Then we also have, I mean, I went and I took my daughters to a Frozen show here. They always have the Nutcracker over Christmas. So it's just a lot of fun. But here's something else that I wanted to bring up, and I've talked about it a little bit, but it's basically the big plan. Like what's coming soon and what do you need to be kind of on the lookout for? So this is the 2030 plan. And the weird thing is, guys, we're only about 6 years outside of this. So the Peace Center owns all of these buildings over here, right? So if you're looking at the Peace Center, they're going to be to the left. And the plan is to really expand the music area over here. So you have and I love that they have these pictures scrolling because it's great. Let me come through here. No, here. So we have this like the outdoor amphitheater area. Like if you've been to Greenville before, like there used to be a really well-known restaurant down here called Larkins on the River. And basically like it's just fantastic green space, so on and so forth. You have the Reedy right over here. And so what they're doing is, let's see here if I can find it. The music project. Here's the Peace Center. Then you have the Huguenot Mill, studio, theater, studio. Here's the Weiss Pavilion. That's that open space here. So if anybody says, oh, we were over here next to the pavilion, that's what this is right here. And you can go walk through there. There's events there every so often. It's a really nice place to go and have pictures made. But this is in the center of downtown. This is right off of Main Street. I really think like this is one of those cool projects that we're going to see come about here in downtown that is going to be a place where like musicians, like you're going to have a place here where also like Greenville's already a place that we draw artists. We have several well-known artists that live here in the Greenville area. They have studios. If you go down along the art walk, which is actually like, let's see here, it's on the other side of the Reedy right here. So this is the art walk at the bottom of this picture where tons of studios like where you can go during the day, and some evenings sometimes you'll find an artist there live and doing their work. But this is just something like, go read up about it, like if you want to know what's coming soon, so on. These are all historical buildings down here, and it's just one of those where I love seeing what's coming soon. And then obviously, like if you love to go see shows at the theater and so on, you should definitely pay attention to what's coming to the Peace Center. I know I do. One day I will take you guys there in a video and get to show you the inside and why it's so cool to go. I've seen a couple shows there. And I think it's something that either you're local here and you do it and you go, or you're local and you always say, oh, I should go. And then you don't for some reason. But it's fun. It's something that I didn't grow up being able to do. But you know, we get shows like Wicked or Hamilton, or I know like it was a while ago that Phantom of the Opera came through, Sound of Music, My Fair Lady, like just some really well-known shows. But then at the same time, like they have symphonies that come through. So again, like just things to know things to do whenever you come, and to talk about. Okay, so another one, so something else to talk about because I saw this pop up. This is actually on my Facebook. Um, I do a ton of stuff on Facebook, guys. So if you ever want to like ask me questions, you can message me there too, or on Instagram. I'm pretty available, and I see those. So this is actually about Greenwood is a good hour and a half outside of Greenville. But when I see things like this come up about Greenwood or some of the outlier towns around the upstate, I like to pull them up just to say, like, hey, there are some really cool areas that are outside of Greenville that you definitely should take a look at because they will be up and coming eventually because there's just so many people that are relocating to the state. We've been on so many top 10 lists. It's ridiculous at this point. But it's not a bad thing. It means that it's a nice place. And yeah, that there's room for you. You can move here too. So this right here, so Greenwood. See, you guys need to remind me week to week to pull up my map. Golly, so I can show you guys where places are. Let's see here. Let's look for Greenwood, South Carolina. And then let's look at directions so that we can say like where is it from Greenville? Yeah. And a lot of people want to know that. Yeah. Hey, I was right. About an hour. So from the center of Greenville. So Greenwood, and I know it probably pops up on searches because this right here is Lake Greenwood, and it's a nice lake. I've shown property out there multiple times, helped people buy and whatnot. It's a haul to get down here. It's not bad, and you're not too far. Probably about same distance to Anderson and whatnot. But so here's the whole deal. So Greenwood has a planned retail community that's coming in called Oregon Station. Let's see what they say here. So I was looking at this today and I thought it was pretty cool. Um, just like, hey, what's coming soon? What uh why is it important? What do we need to know more about? And the thing that you need to know about a lot of areas around the upstate is that uh they've been here a long time. And it's so neat to see it whenever something is going to come in new to the area. A lot of people in Greenwood, like you're a lot closer to like the Augusta and Athens area. You're not too far away, maybe 45 minutes. Um, so let's just go through their fact. Let's see here. Every Friday, they'll be coming to answer questions located on Oregon Avenue. Makes sense why they're called Oregon Station. Businesses that are coming. So, obviously, restaurants and some traditional retail options. Would love to know more about that. They are not going to tear down the current art center, which is really good. I love it whenever they repurpose the historic buildings. I think that's really important for the area. Um, Railroad tracks, nope, not demolishing that. That's important, but some parts will be removed. Let's see here. And then currently owned by the developer Greenwood Development. So, and then let's see, groundwork is scheduled to begin before the end of 2023 and completion by spring of 2025. Not bad. Cool. So yeah, no, I love stuff like this. Like what's coming soon, what's in the area. It's not just Greenville. I think basically within an hour and a half of Greenville, there's a lot of really cool things. I recently last week? Yeah, it was last week Friday. I went out to Anderson. We walked through a $1 million listing out there on the lake. And what's cool is that even though it's November, end of October, November, I mean, you can still go out on the lakes. I mean, it was 85 degrees today, guys. So I think that's definitely something that you should look into. So, all right. So if you have seen the thumbnail to this live stream tonight, you probably saw that there is a tiny home community in Travelers Rest that's pretty well known. And I can actually tell you some stuff that current events. I mean, they also just had a fire over there. If you guys don't know and you're just joining me, or like you've watched some of my videos or whatnot, I mention a lot that I live in Travelers Rest, and I'm definitely a Travelers Rest junkie. Like, I know a lot about TR. Uh, but my husband is a Travelers Rest police officer slash he also volunteers with our fire department. So Creekwalk Tiny Home Community. So this is something that I think is important. So if you are like, hey, I would love to live in a tiny home someday, or I would love to know more information about a tiny home. Can you tell me where these communities are? This is kind of the type of tiny home that is over in Creekwalk. So Creekwalk Tiny Home Community is, I think it's still considered Travelers Rest city limits. I could be wrong on that one. Don't quote me, but it's super close to downtown TR. And a lot of times, the way a tiny home works is it's kind of like a really, 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 really nice mobile home. And I hate to put it in that designation, but that is what um, ultimately what it is, because it comes on axles. You can kind of see it right here that it's on wheels. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these things flying down the highway getting delivered to its final resting place or destination. They can be moved after they are set down somewhere. But TR has this tiny home community. And obviously, like, here's like some, you can rent tiny homes in Creekwalk. You can also buy and own tiny homes in Creekwalk. Um, and the only reason why I mentioned, like, hey, you guys, this is what my husband does, is on Sunday, there was a fire down in this subdivision or in this area. Their community center went up. It's completely gone at this point. So caught fire Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning, and it went all day long. So I know that a lot of the residents and so on are sad that those are gone. But basically, this is a pretty big community. There are, let's see here, obviously, this is a cool website. If you've never seen it before, you should definitely look at it if you are ever looking into a tiny home. It's called tinyhomebuilders.com. And I'm pretty like, and I just look at this on a pretty regular basis because I'm always interested in, like, hey, where are the tiny home communities? Obviously, there's one here in TR. Then there's another one out here in Lake Walk. So this one's in Greer. And basically, like, it's right here on Lake Cunningham. There's lots of green area, but it's essentially a very small mobile home. And these tiny homes are anywhere from, oh goodness, 300 square feet to like 600 square feet, maybe. I actually had one on the market this year over the springtime. And it had property and it was gorgeous. Like, had a nice little living room, little kitchen, had a queen size bed, washer, dryer, had everything. And they're really nice. So it is something that, if you've ever thought about it, like, there are two pretty well-known tiny home community areas, and you can rent in those communities or you can buy. Um, probably need to video that too. I'm always coming up with these ideas that like, hey, I think we need to probably um figure out what it is. But oh, hey Chad, how's it going? Yes, tiny homes, like I could never personally live in one of these. I like my space. I think I'm a little claustrophobic. Um, but yeah, so you can come here and it'll like this is one of the tiny homes in that community, and they usually always have a small porch on them. But like you can see again here, like they're on wheels. So here's the real estate side of this. So let me kind of come over here and pull out on this. Okay. So let's talk about a tiny home because I get these questions a lot on like, hey, like, are there any tiny home communities? And I'm really interested in them. And I always think it'd be fun. And what I find is that people live in them either like it's a lifestyle that they love and they stay in it, or they live in it for a time and then it's kind of like something that gets worked out of their system. So what happens if you actually want to go buy and live in one of these? Um, you cannot do traditional financing on a tiny home. Been there, done that, figured it out. What you can do is if the tiny home is on a permanent foundation and like has a like the foundation is all bricked up, everything's good to go, nothing is a temporary skirting around it. You can possibly do like a mobile home loan on them, but then you also have to do what's called a D title. So these communities, I think, like they really do offer a different option for those of you that have some cash to spend. Um, so I would say tiny homes like this one, I've seen them as low as like $60,000. I've seen them as high as like $120,000, depending on how big it is, the finishes inside, how many windows, everything, the whole kit and caboodle. So when you go to sell these, or you're looking to find them, one, it's going to be 10 times easier for you to find a tiny home community and then have your tiny home purchased somewhere else and then have it moved to that community and then hooked up and everything like that. If you're looking to buy resale, I would recommend that you have the cash on hand. That's going to be the easiest way to purchase it, buy it, everything, to sell it. So if you already own a tiny home, then yeah, you're looking for a cash buyer most likely, or you can get a different type of financing where I would just go look for like some sort of personal loan or an automotive loan. And that's how you purchase a tiny home. Been there, done that, help a couple people do it. And it's a lot of fun. So hope this little map helps. I don't want that. I want to show you what's around here. So this is a great map. You're right, Chad. This is awesome. Um, kind of shows where they are. I wonder where there's other ones. Um, so looks like those are the only two here in the area. There's two others that are up here in North Carolina. I'm sorry, guys, I can't necessarily help there. But let's see here. Cool. And then this map will also show you people that are building them and then where they are for sale. I love that. What a great resource. What a great resource. That's awesome. So, cool. Well, there's that. And let's see here. So, chatted through all of that. I think that's cool. You definitely need to check it out. And then let's see here. Not going to talk about that quite yet. let's see here. All right. So here's something else. So, like I said earlier in the show, I'm a Traveler's Rest junkie. I love TR. So obviously I get lots of questions about the area or what's coming soon or what's being built over here. Like, hey Aubree, I just saw some land being cleared. What's gonna get built there? Are we getting more townhomes? Okay. Yes, like there are so many builders right now that are building townhomes in the area. Now, nothing against them. They usually like they're pretty. Um they I would say they're built okay. I have my opinions on builders though. Who builds a good one and who doesn't build a good one. Honestly, if they're offering a whole bunch of incentives, they're probably try and get you to overpay for something. My own opinion. Um, However, let's talk about Traveler's Rest. So went ahead and pulled this up. I know this is kind of old, from March 28th, but uh, the planning commissions here in the area, I think, are really important. So they're making sure that they're following up with, okay, what is the age of the people moving into the area, the household size, race, income, educational attainment, so on. What's the occupancy rate? What's the income to affordability? So I will tell you that the Travelers Rest area is quickly becoming one of the more expensive places to live. Meaning that like the same house in my neighborhood, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 2,200 square feet, sells for about 500 to 550. That house, say in like a similar neighborhood in like Easley or Powdersville, maybe even places like Malden or Fountain Inn, um, the same house, again, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 2,200 square foot, bonus room, so on. Probably on, I would say, on about a half acre. Um, that same house is going to sell for 3 to 400,000 in those other areas. So, like the amount of value that you get, I think it depends on where do you want to live and what's so important there. So, like for example, I have a client who I adore. She's cute. All right. Um she wants to live near the Swamp Rabbit Trail. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what it's going to take. This is what we're looking at here is going, okay, what's over here? What kind of transportation do we have? What resources do we have? Is all the land use being is it correct? So this is something that like as I was looking through like what we were going to talk about tonight, I was like, okay, well, what's the population look like? So here's the fun part. Um, Back and I have lived here. So I came to the upstate in 2006. And I remember TR was just a podunk little place. There wasn't a ton to do here. Like people would go, oh yeah, I've got to drive all the way out to Travelers Rest. There just wasn't like the Swamp Rabbit Trail was out here and that was cool, but it just wasn't what it is today. And so like look at this growth here though. So 2000, 3000, 4,000 ish. Then right here, so this is where Furman University was then annexed into TR. So technically, Furman is in Travelers Rest. So this is also cool. So growth without Furman University is only about 2.8% a year. But I want you to look here. We also are seeing just a fantastic, like, there's just a ton of people moving here. Also, Travelers Rest city limits compared to Travelers Rest. So I do the same thing when I talk about Greenville. Greenville, little, to Greenville County. So Greenville County is one of the largest counties here in the state. Um, so here we have the census populations. Again, I think for you guys that love the numbers and love the details, this is really good information for you to look at to see how the area has grown. Obviously, like Travelers Rest is a little area, Fountain Inn. So I would say Fountain Inn is actually very similar to TR in the small townness of it. Now, TR has a lot of things going for it as well. And look at the growth here. It's great. I mean, it's crazy. Compared to like, okay, Simpsonville's bigger, Malden, Greer has seen a ton of growth. I would say like we saw that growth there because of like school districts and neighborhoods and a lot of the development. All of this here, just really like if you're a graphs person and if you like stuff like this, I would go to Travelers Rest sc.com and you can see exactly like what is the area that you're moving to. I'm pretty sure I can pull this for other areas too. So if you're looking at like Greer and Easley or Simpsonville, new housing permits, that's fun too. Being able to see the inventory, average housing prices will probably come from this as well. Occupancy rates, the amount of years, homes built. So this right here, this will show you why we have the inventory problem that we have right now. 1990 to 2000, 2000 to 2009, right here, and then it dropped. So we don't have enough houses being built right now, y'all. That's pretty self-explanatory there. Again, like single family incomes, like home values. This compares it between the Greenville upstate. So if you're watching this now and you're like, I'm looking at lots of different areas of South Carolina, this is good. I should rip this off and share it. Greenville, Anderson, Malden metro area, Charleston, Myrtle Beach, Spartanburg, and Asheville. Look at these. Look at the affordability. Look at like where we're at. We probably are most comparable to Myrtle Beach area now, I would say, in pricing for the state. Spartanburg metro area is probably going to be the most affordable area to be in. So the Spartanburg metro is like, so it's Spartanburg, but it's Duncan, Inman, Lyman, Boiling Springs. Yeah, just those areas north of Greenville. But yeah, so as you're looking, like this is one of those things where research, and that's what I'm doing for you as well, is I'm just going, hey, like what is around and let's talk about it. I'm happy to send this to anybody that wants it. So let's see here. I'm actually going to download this. Yeah, let's do that. TR and 2023. Great. If you are watching this live stream on a replay and you want those slides, I'm more than happy to send them to you. Just comment or email me and I will attach them and send them to you so that you can take your own time and look through them, or you can go to the website. That's always fun too. They put this stuff up here for the public, which I think is lovely. Okay, so two more things here. Wanted to make sure that you, let's see here, know a couple more things that you can do when you come to visit is the Children's Museum. Well, Aubree, I don't have children. Why would I go to the Children's Museum? So this is fun. They do have events about once a quarter, once every other quarter. So if you've got kids or if you're coming with kids, families, so on and so forth, this is a really cool place. I have little people as well. So I have 3 girls all under the age of 10, and we love coming here. There's places to there's a big playground. They have events. There's also a children's museum out in Spartanburg. It's meant more for toddlers though, so just be aware of that. The one in Greenville will cater more to, I think, some bigger kids as well. So just go check it out. It's a fun place to have. Um, let's see here. Let's go poke around on the website a little bit here. So again, if you've ever been to like a creation museum or like in Chattanooga or um man, that's one of the best places. I This is fun. Like you can just go through. They have a it's all about imagination play though. That's what this place is. They have a place where you can play with water and just all sorts of cool exhibits. Cool place to go, something to do. Take a look at it. There you go. All right. So if you stuck with me this long, thank you so much. I have, let's see here, this right here. So I got an email today, which I thought was cool from Gina with Lennar. And I have actually noticed this coming soon for the past 6 months. There is a very large community in, I believe Blue Ridge Plantation is considered Greer, but there are parts of it that could have a Taylor's address as well. Don't quote me on it. It's right there on the line of Greer and Taylor's. So, Blue Ridge Plantation is a very nice neighborhood with what I would say average price point homes. All right. Yes, you're going to get some that are much higher price point, and yes, you're going to get some that are a little bit below average price point. Average price point of this neighborhood is probably going to be somewhere in the mid 300s. So I would say 3 to 400,000 is a good place to price these homes. This is, I would call this a master plan community. It is right outside of Lake Robinson. So let me pull up the map and let's go look where Blue Ridge Plantation is. All right. I'm going to share this. Okay. So back to the map. So Blue Ridge Plantation is a great neighborhood to look at. It's going to be right up here next to, this is Lake Robinson right here. And I would say it's actually, let me zoom in over here so I can show you. So Blue Ridge Plantation's like right here. And so when you're looking at the neighborhoods, I've been seeing them clearing out the neighborhoods, putting in all the infrastructure, the plumbing, the sewers, getting ready to run the electricity, mapping all of this out. So Lennar is a decent builder in the area. They are building townhomes in there. And I would anticipate that there will be some single family homes built over there as well. Now, their pricing for those townhomes is going to start in the low 300,000s. Here's kind of the rule of thumb I have found on some new construction is that for every, who knows, 3, 5, 10 houses they sell, the price goes up. So when you can get into a community as they are breaking ground, you will come out of that with so much more equity than if you are the very last house that is built and sold in the neighborhood. So just a word to the wise, like if you see new construction and it's a newer neighborhood, be willing to live in the construction for a little bit. You will make money over time because prices go up in neighborhoods like that. So Blue Ridge Plantation, let me tell you a little bit more specifically about Blue Ridge Plantation. So there are areas, parts of that neighborhood that are brand new, that have um, homes that have been built for maybe 5 years or less since they're currently building. I have one of my best friends lives in the area, and their family lives in a home that's probably 10 to 20 years old, but it's right up there next to the community pool. They have a really nice community pool. Just the neighborhood in general, like, has little pocket cul-de-sacs all over the place. And from what I can tell, just from being in the neighborhood, there's a really good mix of young families, retirees. I do find that there's certain areas of Blue Ridge Plantation that the age does go up. So if you're in your 50s and 60s, you're going to have friends in this neighborhood without a problem. If you're more my age and you've got kids, you're also going to have your people in this neighborhood, or a first time home buyer. Like, it's a really good mix of people. Yes, there is an HOA. No, I would say it's not crazy strict. And that's just coming from me because I've helped people buy and sell houses in this neighborhood a lot over the years, and we've never had a problem with them. So it's been really cool to kind of see how that neighborhood has taken shape. So yeah, that's what I'm paying attention to right now, because again, I get these questions on, hey, what is coming soon? Do you know what is being built in this area, where the land is being cleared, so on and so forth. So if you are interested in building, would love to chat with you more, because we have people that they've literally been under contract for a full year, and they haven't even broken ground yet in some of these neighborhoods. Just they're getting in at such a great price. And if you're able to wait, by all means, like, you're gonna get a really great price on a home. Um, uh, you do have to put down, like, there is deposit money you have to put down. There is work that you will have to do to get it under contract, but that's why you have me. That's what we do. And that's why we talk about it. So all right, guys. Well, that's kind of all I've got for you tonight. Thanks for hanging with me, and for you guys that pop on here and watch. I love finding different things to talk about every night. And yeah, they're kind of real estate focused. Sometimes they're not, but would love to chat with you more. So basically, I'm putting this out here right now for anybody who might come across. The team is hiring currently. So if you know anybody here in the upstate that is looking for an admin job, or maybe you're a realtor and looking for a place to land as well, would love to talk with you. Our team is we are very busy right now, which is great. We are helping people find houses before they hit the market, which is fun. And I'm excited to see where 2024 takes us. But the rest of the year is going to be a blast. And just answering your questions, helping you move here. And just let me know if you want to know more information, or if you would like to have a home search set up, or just a couple questions answered. That's why I'm here. So that's it, guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your night, a good Friday, and have a great weekend. I will talk to you later. Bye.